Good afternoon, everybody, and it's indeed delightful to be here because I think we are discussing, deliberating one of the most topical subject, M2M, because a person like me who has really been into the telecom domain for ages, we have seen that kind of discussion taking place. I think, and that really proves the fact that really this is one of the important subjects we need to do along because we are at that threshold of timeline. Now, as I'll not get into the definition of M2M, I'm sure each one of you will have own definition that to my mind is really immaterial. What is more important to see that what will be the application of M2M and what it will do to the society and to the applications and to the challenges that we are facing today. Therefore, I think my perspective would be that whatever may be the M2M enabling platform, that will have a different architectural standards, that will have a different way of implementation because we do not have the global standards. You might that evolving in its own way, which is great because that's the only way the innovation happens. But at the same time, it's really very clearly understood that application of that will be majorly in the sector of utility, intelligent building management system, healthcare, remote infrastructure management, or automobile. Question is, if that's the kind, and if you know the figure, and you have seen several times the kind of figure you hear, is Ericsson predicts on the 54 billion connected devices, Machinery Research talks about 22 billion, revenue goes from billions to trillions, which really gives a sense, the size of the problem. Therefore, there is no reason it could be billion or trillion. Important point, that's writing on the wall. That M2M is going to be one of the enabling platform for those applications. If that is so, then what all we need to do, because at the end of the day, what is very, very critical for for a technology evolving of this nature, size, the dimension, is very, very fundamental. We have to have some standards. That doesn't mean that we need to have a standard, therefore, and then we'll start the development. No, I think I would definitely appreciate the initiative that has been taken by the DOT, that they have gone into it. At the same time, people who already have started moving on, and that's the way technology evolves. It is not the standards have been done, and then you started moving on, then you will always be laggard. So that's one important piece. I'm sure this will come in, but this will be important. Otherwise, we'll not be able to do. We might move, but we'll have to have some kind of framework, standardization framework for this managing this kind of humongous growth. Number one. Number two is extremely vital. Anything which you brings in has to have the adaptability. Therefore, if you bring a technology for the utility sector, you're not going to change that again for the automobile sector. You're not going to change it for possibly healthcare sector or the infrastructure management. Therefore, you need to see that how we build a technology which can be adapted very easily for different applications. Second, agility and the flexibility, as Manoj rightly captured, that you need the intelligence to be embedded there. How quickly you build the intelligence, either they develop themselves or you create the logic by which they start working on. And that's absolutely fundamental. When the billions of devices are there, can you imagine you'll go and change the logic? Do you feel the logic done today will be working tomorrow as well? Never. Therefore, it is just important to see that how do you make a platform which is agile, which is flexible, which can adapt it very, very quickly for the requirement that for which it has been built on, whether it is utility, whether it is intelligent building management system, whether it is energy and power, whatever could be the applications, because applications will be really, really, really diverse. Third important element to my mind comes is the affordability. Anything what you do, if it is not fitting in the economics, it will never be, it will not be successful. We have seen that enough in the telecom. I don't think the story is going to be different anyway here. Therefore, we need to make sure how to build the whole ecosystem. What is that we need to do? How you make sure that end-to-end cost is less? How do you make a smart meter which is less 5,000 rupees? And therefore, affordability and cost efficiency would be important element for us to be successful. And if you do not look at that, you only look at the technology, my dear friend, it will be technology, but it will never see the light of the day because you will not find the takers at the end of the day. Eventually, it has to be implemented in the most affordable manner. And third piece is empowerment, which is there, as we have seen the telecom revolutions. Each one of us get empowered through the mobile devices, and the M2M should also empower end customer. All the stakeholders to my mind, the end customer. If it does not find value in it, why should you adopt? We keep talking about, I was there, one of the seminar organized PhD Chamber of Commerce along with the Planning Commission on basically the smart grid. My view was that if the end consumer does not find value of M2M smart meter, why should he adopt it? He must get the value out of it. He must see that his life is changing. He must be able to figure out that his cost is coming down. He must be able to figure out that his quality of power is better. He must be able to figure out what all values he is going to get. Therefore, the empowerment will be an important element for the successful of this technology. And I'm glad that we are here today. We are discussing is one of the most important subjects, not here globally. Our government has really taken a very positive steps to see that what kind of standardization should come in. But again, it is a standardization framework. You can say do this and do that. I know the authorization will be different challenges. Security layer will be difficult. I'm sure we'll really, get over those. But we have to make the technology which can be implemented, which can be adopted, which can be introduced as quickly as possible. And that's my thought from the M2M standpoint. Hope that we have other deliberation. Thank you again for your time. Thanks very much.